What's happening, everybody? The Lemon72 is back, and this time I'm going to help you guys get the most out of your day with the battery on the S3 here. And this essentially could work for all S3s, North American or the international one. So first, just to show off, that's what I'm using, Android version. So let's go back out here and get started. So one of the first things I obviously recommend is turning down brightness. So, hey. Wow, that was a failed attempt. How many times? Okay, so actually the reason you want to do that opposed to using auto brightness is auto brightness uses the sensors. So essentially you're trading off brightness for sensors, which you're not getting anywhere with that on battery life. So doing it manually, you save that. And then 2, turn off all unused radios. So for example, me, I don't use Bluetooth, GPS. I do use Wi-Fi because I'd rather use that than data because I do a lot of things, check Flipboard, Google Plus, Facebook, all kinds of stuff. And the next thing I'm going to show you, also turn off sync. Oops. Oh, you know what? Whatever. For the video, let's go with that. Turn off sync is just essentially, gets rid of background data apps that, example Facebook, it'll push pictures to your contacts, all kinds of crazy stuff, in gallery too. Sync takes a lot of batteries, so turning that off is a pretty big deal. And then here you go, we're in power saving mode, so you can access it from both the toggle or if you go into the settings, which you'll see soon. So first thing, if you go right down here, it'll give you a description on what each of them does. So I'm not going to get into too big detail, I'll let you read that for yourself. So when you turn that on, it'll do all that to what you saw there. So the next thing, actually, let's go take a look here. S-Voice. The next thing you want to do, go into your settings, turn off wake up command. So this is just using sensors again to listen for you to say something to get the app going, to get S-Voice activated. So again, if you're probably not going to use it, such as me, there's no reason to have it turned on. As I said, there's even a note saying in may drain battery, so don't use it. And the next thing is, because this is the LTE variant, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of LTE just because it kills battery. So set it to HSPA only. This will give you 4G, or where you don't have 4G, 3G. So you can see that's where it's what it's set to usually by default, but I just turned it to that. So gives you a few extra gives you a few extra hours a day where you don't have to worry about LTE being the reason that your battery's dead, 3/4 through the day. Then you have NFC and S-beams. So this utilizes another chip in the phone. Turn those off if you have no intention to use them. And let's keep on going. So display. At this point, you want to turn off all gimmicky based features. So page buddy, smart rotation, smart stay, anything that utilize these sensors. Well, this one doesn't utilize much sensors other than, the headphone jack there, but page buddy is probably not the worst of things to turn off, but yes, smart rotation, smart stay, turn those off. Those hit the battery pretty hard. And then if you back out of here and you go all the way to motions, now this is where most of the gimmicky features of this phone come from. And again, all these use sensors, and keeping your sensors active all the time, it'll just murder your battery. It's just gonna kill it so bad. You just don't want to do it to yourself. And that's where you'd enter power saving from the settings, just so you guys know that. And I believe that's pretty much it. So other than that, you can just go, if you want go with a dark background if you can. I don't really care too much, but if you want to save battery life, the blacker or darker the wallpaper, the better for your battery. So don't use live wallpapers either, and you should be okay. And the last thing I want to cover is something like Task Killer, which people say it helps the battery. It can, but it also kind of kills the the best way to explain this, the experience of the phone. Reason being is you're killing not just app processes, but the software process, the operating system itself. And because you're doing that, everything is going to be sluggish. And that's pretty much it. If you really wanted to limit that, developer options has a feature where you can do that. So where it says apps, limit background process standards, what it's set to, you can tell it to have none whatsoever and whatnot. So I mean, there's no task killer is a waste of time, is what it is. And then forced GPU rendering, some people say it, it can save battery, others say it doesn't. The debate behind this is simply because most of the UI is rendered by the CPU by default, as you can see all this. So turning that on, it offloads the CPU to the GPU, and some are saying, hey, it won't save battery life because it's just swapping, and others say, hey, the GPU can manage it better, so yes, it will. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that note. So I think we're pretty much done here on that. I guess minimize widgets too, I guess. I mean, I love this widget to death, so for me it makes sense to use, but minimize the widgets. Also, actually, yeah, here we go. So Battery Guru. So this is good for anyone who's using a Snapdragon CPU by Qualcomm. So this is Qualcomm who built this app for us. Essentially, it just takes it to the next level for them to, monitor our patterns and to manage the background processes and data that's going on. So essentially, you see all these. These are the apps that have, sync features, background data usage, and processes. And what it does is it takes about a week or so of monitoring your usage, and then it kicks in and says, this is what we're going to do for your phone. So let's go right here. And these are some of the features here. Data sharing, I have it turned on because, then it sends them information which they can update the app better and quicker. So, I mean, why not? Manage when apps refresh, that's giving it permission to do that. Manage Wi-Fi, essentially allows it to turn on and off Wi-Fi based on your pattern. It's still kind of in its early stages, so I just turned it off for now. And inactivity period. Now, this is one of the sickest things about this, because if you're not going to touch your phone for, let's say, 15 minutes, half hour plus, there's no reason why the background processes and data should still be going on. So essentially what this does, if you turn it on, is it limits that. So by default it'll say, hey, we're going to minimize any kind of background processes that are going to be on the phone. I've taken it a step further to tell it to turn off mobile data as well. So you will, oops, what did I just do there? I did not mean to do that. So essentially it just minimizes both background and data based processes in the phone. You'll still be able to get calls and texts, no problems. So there's no harm in that. And that's pretty much it, guys. Subscribe to me and have yourself a wonderful day.